Isaiah 61 to 63. The Ruach of Adonai Yahweh is upon me, because Yahweh has anointed me to proclaim good news to the humble. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and release to those who are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh, and the end of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn, to provide for those who mourn in Zion, to give to them a garland for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they may be called trees of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh, that has been made, that he may be glorified. They will rebuild the old ruins. They will raise up the places long devastated. They will repair the ruined cities. They have been devastated for many generations. Strangers will stand and feed your flocks, and foreigners will work your fields and your vineyards. But you will be called the Kohanim of Yahweh. Men will call you the servants of our God. You will eat the wealth of the nations, and you will boast in their glory. Instead of your shame, you will have double. Instead of dishonor, they will rejoice in their portion. Therefore, in their land, they will possess double. Everlasting joy will be to them. For I, Yahweh, love justice. I hate robbery and iniquity. I will give them their reward in truth, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them. Their offspring will be known among the nations, and their offspring among the peoples. All who see them will acknowledge them, that they are the offspring which Yahweh has blessed. I will greatly rejoice in Yahweh. My soul will be made joyful in my God, for he has clothed me with his garments of salvation. He has covered me with a robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decks himself with garland, and as a bride adorns herself with her jewels. For as the earth produces its bud, and as the garden causes the things that are sown in to be sprung up, so Adonai Yahweh will cause righteousness and praise to spring up before all the nations. For Zion's sake I will not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest, until her righteousness goes forth as brightness, and her salvation like a burning lamp. The nations will see your righteousness, and all kings your glory. And you will be called by a new name, which the mouth of Yahweh will name. For you will also be a crown of beauty in the land of Yahweh, and a royal diadem in the hand of your God. You will no longer be called forsaken, and your land will no longer be called desolate, but you will be called Hephzibah, in your land Beulah. For Yahweh delights in you, and your land will be married. For as young men marry a virgin, for your sons will marry you. As a bridegroom rejoices over his bride, so your God will rejoice over you. I have set watchmen on your walls, Jerusalem. They will never be silent day nor night. You who call on Yahweh, take no rest, and give him no rest until he establishes, and until he makes Jerusalem a praise in the earth. Yahweh has sworn by his right hand, and by the arm of his strength, surely I will no more give your grain to be food for your enemies, and foreigners will not drink your new wine, for which you have labored. But those who have harvested will eat it, and praise Yahweh. And those who have gathered it will drink it in the courts of my sanctuary. Go through the gates, prepare the way of the people, build up the highway, gather out the stones, lift up the banner for the peoples. Behold, Yahweh has proclaimed to the end of the earth, say the daughter of Zion, behold, your salvation comes. Behold, his reward is with him, and his recompense before him. They will call them the holy people, the redeemed of Yahweh. You will be called sought out, a city not forsaken. Who is this who will come from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? Who is this? Who is the glorious in his clothing, marching in the greatness of his strength? It is I who speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Why is your clothing red, and your garments like him who treads in the wine vat? I have trodden the wine press alone, and of the people no one is with me. Yes, I trod them in my anger, and trampled them in my wrath. Their lifeblood is sprinkled on my garments, and I have stained all my clothing. For the day of vengeance was in my heart, and the year of my redeemed has come. I looked, and there was no one to help. I wondered that there was no one to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation to me, and my own wrath upheld me. I trod down the peoples in my anger, and made them drunk in my wrath, and I poured out their lifeblood on the earth. I will tell of the loving kindness of Yahweh, and the praises of Yahweh, according to all that Yahweh has given to us, and the great goodness towards the house of Israel, which he has given to them according to his mercies, and according to the multitude of his loving kindnesses. And he said, surely they are my people, children who will not deal falsely. So he became their Savior. In all their affliction he was afflicted, and the angel of his presence saved them. In his love and in his pity he redeemed them. He bore them and carried them all the days of old. But they rebelled and grieved the Ruach HaKodesh. Therefore he turned and became their enemy, and he himself fought against them. Then he remembered the days of old, Moses and his people, saying, where is he who brought them up out of the sea with the shepherds of his flock? Where is he who put his Ruach HaKodesh within them? Who caused his glorious arm to be at Moses' right hand? Who divided the waters before them to make himself an everlasting name? Who led them through the depths like a horse in the wilderness, so that they did not stumble, as a beast that goes down into the valley? The Ruach Adonai caused him to rest. So you led your people to make yourself a glorious name. Look down from heaven and see from the habitation of your holiness and of your glory. Where are your zeal and your mighty acts? The yearning of your heart and your compassion is restrained toward me. For you are our Father. Through Abraham does not know us, and Israel does not acknowledge us. You, Yahweh, are our Father. Our Redeemer from everlasting is your name. O Yahweh, why do you make us wander from your ways and harden our heart from your fear? Return from your servants, for your servants' sake, the tribes of your inheritance, your holy people possessed it for a little while. Our adversaries have trodden down your sanctuary. You have become like those over whom you never ruled, like those who were not called by your name. Oh, that you would rend the heavens, then you would come down, then the mountains might quake at your presence.